And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports War. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Board. You're on a Tuesday, and once again, it is the Barnes and Tony Show. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, man. Had a good night. Interesting morning, nice and kind of not as cold as yesterday morning, but still getting chilly out there. So that's cool. Overcast, dark, early. How has your morning been, dude?
Oh man, that's like asking somebody like how their morning was after they went to the casino and emptied out their checking account. How do you feel the next morning, right? I mean,
yeah.
Yeah. To be honest, one of the rare times, I was just thinking about, which I mean, listen, everything that I usually say just comes naturally, but just thinking about it before the show, it just, you know what I mean? You almost you don't even know, what to say. And I think that's kind of, being there last night. That's how you felt, because it just was the last thing that I expected to just have just such a flat effort. So, and at the same time, it's tough enough, these days after. So you don't want to be that type of person, the whole doom and gloom all day and just make it even worse than it has to be. But I just think it goes, without saying that all of us, real Yankee fans, just it's just very disappointing because that didn't have to be like this. And you could point to what happened in game one, but you had two other opportunities to right that ship. And it's just a shame that it feels like two. I mean, at the end of the day, there is, the facts are facts. I mean, the Dodgers have won all three games, but you feel like they're not exactly playing great, but it's just you can't hit water falling out of a boat. You can't win. So just kind of tough. And there obviously is an opportunity to, at least, make them sweat it out instead of just, lay down. And you would just hope that fight, would exist, but it just was very puzzling, being there and just to feel like there wasn't. I mean, I know early on, Stanton had a chance to score there, gets thrown out. And it's it does seem like sometimes stuff like that, even though, it shouldn't, and you got to be on to the next play, but takes the wind out of the sails. And then, when you have runners on, you don't get them. And then for instance, you had a Glaber third strike call. I don't know if you saw that one, but it was in the seventh inning and it was literally 3 inches high. Yeah. And then it would have been 3-2. So it wasn't, it just felt like, if you had given Soto an opportunity there that, and
it would have been, was 2 runners were on, no?
No, it would have been the bases loaded.
Yeah, bases, that's what I mean. 2 runners were on.
Or whatever. So it's just it's really tough. And you look at the box score that you had just as many hits as them, and you're only 2 runs given the 9th inning, but it just feels like, you just should have been able to figure out a way. And with the team that there are, things that can really be improved. But at the same time, I mean, I don't think I'm really missing anything here. You still that's the tough part. It's not like you go into this and just say these, you're just so overwhelmed. And it's just no, that's not what it is. You had just as good a chance to win this series as them. And you still can win this series. Obviously, it's an uphill historical battle. But it starts with one game. Yeah. But it's just a point. It just doesn't feel that they're really that much better. It just feels like that they're doing everything they need to do right, and like we're just not at all.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I mean, I totally agree with that. I mean, like you said, Stanton getting thrown out.
Buzzkill. Absolute buzzkill.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
dude,
it was obvious watching it, like it was gonna get thrown out, even though it was a perfect throw.
it would. Oh my! I mean, the
But
throw
it
was
just
great.
with Stanton, I mean, come on, like, are we thinking he's gonna beat it out? Like,
I mean, dude, not for nothing. I was surprised when he ran to second on his hit,
yeah,
and like I'm watching,
yeah,
like,
no,
oh shit,
watching
dude.
it, you were kind
Yeah.
of thinking that he was gonna get thrown out.
And then is that Rojas at third?
Yeah.
I
And I
mean,
swear to God, on Twitter they were talking about bringing Willie Randolph back as a third base
oh
coach.
my gosh, dude. I mean, like, not for nothing. I mean,
Enough Mets though.
I wouldn't have sent him like that. That's great. But regardless, it was a great throw, great play the plate. But I mean, it is those little things that you're not doing right that the Dodgers are, like,
yeah.
like they're up 2-0 early on. That doesn't seem crazy, but that third inning, I mean, Edmund, I think, works a walk, steals a bag,
Right.
and then is
his
running
scores
on,
a single,
like
yeah.
that is like small ball. That's like fundamental baseball. They're doing things right.
Yeah.
And then now all of a sudden, that's when things start to kind of snowball for the Yankees, because I was like, oh my God, they're taking another run. And then that causes that feeling. I think. I mean, how was the stadium, dude? How was the fans last night?
Everybody was so riled up. It honestly hung in there
Really
for a while. Judge got his standing ovations.
Right.
But really, honestly, was in there just the whole time. But just like when those type of things would happen, then it would get like a little quiet. But then you get a full count.
Yeah.
You get a runner on. Then it's different. So it's just like and it's easy to say the pitching the last two games for the Yankees have been shit, but it's like gave them 4 runs both games. And I know their bullpen once again, the catalyst with the pitching, but it's like 3-2-2, and then 2 when you're down to 2 strikes with 2 outs in the 9th.
Yeah,
you are being shut out. That is like far, far short. And you could obviously point to Judge, struggling again. And I was really shocked too that it's like first at bat. I mean, the crowd was like so loud for him and just to strike out. I mean, you just weren't expecting that. And you could point to that, but it's just like there's a lot of other guys last night that could have done something. Jazz came up in a big spot.
Yeah, he did, and he seemed honestly, dude, he seemed like he was not in the right headspace. I don't know if you saw that. I think it was in the 7th or the 8th. I think.
Yeah,
arguing with the umpire. Like clearly in his head. And it's like, dude, if you're going up to the plate and you're frustrated and you're not focused, like that's not good, dude.
Yeah. And I think what's tough is like, I get it, when these type of things happen, when I'm watching the game, I mean, you feel that yourself, but it's like, I'm not on the fields, so that they gotta be, stronger than that. And it just, you just felt like it's like, how was there not just like pure adrenaline last night that they were just figure out a way. And despite those tough things, like, the Glaber called strike or Stanton get thrown out the plate, they're just like, we have done this. Like, we know we could do this. This is our, like, how, like, that wasn't enough to carry you there. And then after the Verdugo home run too, like, you just felt like, geez, I mean, can Glaber just like get on? I mean, you feel like Soto like will really try to hit one out. And he doesn't. So it's just tough. Like I said, I don't think they're ripping the cover off the ball. You know what I mean? They just have had like some big hits, and like it was just like, we just don't have any. And then you just trying to be the thing too. It's tough because, like I said, even like Ohtani, like he's barely done anything this series. I mean, of course, Freeman's killing it.
Dude, he's 3 home runs in 3 games.
Yeah.
Like,
so then you think to that, but it's like still, I think the difference isn't Betts, Ohtani. I mean, maybe you want to say Freeman because he's having such a good series.
Yeah.
Sure, but like Soto, he's having a good series. I know he has 1 home run versus Freeman's 3. Point is, I feel like the reason that they're up in this series doesn't have anything to do with the fact that they have Soto and not Soto, but Ohtani,
right,
and Betts. Like, you know what I mean? You want to put Freeman off to the side because he's doing so well. It's because like other guys are contributing, and it's like, Austin Wells, every time he's up, like can't strike out.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's like even Verdugo, he started out these playoffs well. And then I know, yes, he had the home run yesterday, but it's like, you know what I mean? There's just too much of that, and too much of like when those guys are up in your head, feeling like it's like, you know what I mean? It's like, we
Right.
know what's going to happen. We know Wells can't catch up to the high fastball. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, especially Volpe too, because I was surprised, you know, I thought he would have some better at bats last night. And it's just like,
yeah,
the strikeout too when the bat went flying.
Yeah, dude, that was bad. I don't know, dude. It's interesting because I mean, again, we're coming into this series, you're thinking that the Yankees have the advantage in terms of their pitching,
Right.
But I mean,
I just find myself, I can't, even though the lines for Rodon and Schmidt the last 2 games are absolute shit.
it is shit.
I just find myself not being able to blame that, because it's like, you really think that you should be able to get by scoring 2 runs a game? You can't do that.
I understand.
I can't get past that.
I understand you can't do that. I mean, you look at the Dodgers series. Look at like when they played the Mets. I mean, when the Mets won, like they had to score over 6 runs. 6 runs are over to win these games.
But the thing is, we've scored 7 in the first 3 games. 7.
Seven. That's not
17.
right.
7.
So I mean, obviously, you need more offense, like no doubt. And I don't know. I think last night it was something either maybe 14 or 11. I think it was 14 stared fastballs.
And I'm actually glad you mentioned that, because like being there, you really got to feel, you're looking up what the pitches are every time. That was absolutely, just from the fastball perspective. Like, listen, you know me, I don't like to like just rip people, but it's just like, it was the whole team. It's like Buehler is sitting between 93 and 95. And I read an article about this too. So basically, though, what I'm saying is there were so many swings and misses and just taking pitches of the fastball. And they were saying that people like laud the Yankees, obviously when things are going well, patient, but actually the reason that they're not coming through in the situation is because they're actually being over patient. Right. And it's like, when you get a 93-mile-an-hour fastball over the plate from Walker Buehler,
you got to swing, dude.
Yeah, and they just not do that. That was a killer. That had in person, especially, it's different with all those guys throwing 100 miles an hour. Like, you kind of get it. But I've never seen such a mediocre fastball dominate last night. That's what that was doing those 5 innings.
And I mean, with all those strikes going in, looking, I mean, it sets Buehler up for his sliders, his next pitch, and it's just like, and then you're swinging a miss, and then you're down 0-2 in your count, and then it's like how do you expect to get back from that?
No, that's another thing. You're right. They were every single count they were behind in the box.
Like, you can't be doing that, dude. So you have to either you're not seeing the pitch, or like you're saying yesterday too, predetermining what you're gonna do.
I think that is a big part of it, to be honest.
You got to figure something out, dude, at the plate. Because, I mean, it is – we said it yesterday. You can't get Walker Buehler going, dude. Like, there was no reason why he should be pitching shutouts in his starts.
Not even close.
He hasn't. He's had a limited amount of time playing. He struggled with injury. And like you said, his fastball isn't anything to write home about. Yes, I mean, he's hitting the strike zone. Maybe that's what it is. Like, maybe they're just expecting – for balls to be outside of the strike zone, but the Dodgers pitching staff they're attacking the Yankees lineup. Gratterall in there. I mean, he's throwing high fastballs. He's trying to get in the strike zone. He's trying to get them to swing and miss. So I don't know if they're just like not seeing that or what, but I mean, it's tough, dude. On the other end, I do think the Yankees pitching staff is not doing that. Like they're not
doing it,
they're
but
not
like
attacking batters,
because of their bullpen. They're able to pitch like this and still should be able to win. And like I said, 4. It's not 8. It's not 10.
No,
it's
not
12. It's 4. And like, think about it, like these games. So it's like first game, whatever, 6. But like, okay, I think that game is aside because it felt like that was one you really had. You just didn't manage it properly. So that aside, last 2 games, you have 1 hit going in the 9th inning last game. And in this game, you're getting shut out with 2 strikes with 2 outs in the 9th inning. So it's like, that's why I can't go to the pitching staff. And it is so tough because you look at the team and you just feel like, okay, yes, we could use, of course, like Judge, performing the way we know he's capable of. But it's like, could we use like just like how the Dodgers have like 3 big guys like that? Like, I know we have Stanton too, so that should be enough. But it's like, do we need another one of those guys, or is that really it? Or is it really, which I think it more is, that, I mean, and I know in the regular season there was more of this, but it's like there needs to be more support from the role players, and that needs to be contact. And I just think like that, it seems to be ignored a little bit, because you think about, besides those big 3 guys, like the entire lineup, especially right now. Like, is Austin Wells a contact hitter?
No.
Is Jazz a contact hitter? Is Volpe a contact hitter? Not
No.
right now. And Glaber has been, and Rizzo has been okay, but then Verdugo hasn't. So it's like, half your lineup is not only they're not hitting home runs, like it's just like they're not making contact. So it's like you need more contact. There needs to be more balls in play, and there needs to be just more hits. And it felt like they were doing a good job of that coming into this series. So that's why, it is surprising. And I know, the Dodgers are very good, whether it's analytical and all this stuff. But at the end of the day, I mean, yes, the results are the results, but it's like, I know we are capable of beating this team and beating them in a 7-game series, but you're just not. So obviously, I mean, everybody already knows this. I mean, it's the worst feeling in the world because it's like, you could do it and you're just not. And I think it's just as tough as those first 2 games were. I think the biggest thing for me was just the fact that, like, you couldn't just, no matter what, last night, made sure that you found yourself winning that game. Like, why couldn't you do that?
No, yeah, I mean, you're right. And you want to talk about role players. I mean, look at Kike Hernandez and Tommy Edman. I mean, they were giving the Mets a huge problem, and they still are. I mean, they're giving the Yankees a huge problem now too, and they're batting 8th, 9th in your lineup. I mean, those are role players. And then all of a sudden you have Ohtani leading off, I mean, it's not.
But it's tough, Tony, the fact, like, you're saying that, but then it's like Ohtani doesn't get a hit. They have just as many hits as you.
Right.
What the
And, like, I don't know. I mean, Roberts was talking about Ohtani because the whole shoulder thing and everything, mid-game interview, whatever. And he was saying, he's like, hey, like, not for nothing, because he was questioning Ohtani's health. Like, can he swing? He's been able to get, like, meaningful hits. And he's like, if Ohtani can just stand there, like, he could get walked. Like, I'd rather have him out there with the possibility of getting walked because everyone wants to pitch around, and, like, people are scared to pitch to him. So I don't know. I mean, I'd be interested to see, because did he get walked? He got walked once last night? Twice?
Once.
Again, just like, it was the leadoff. It was the first walk of the game. Yeah. Like, those leadoff walks of a game, like, that's brutal. Like, having a pitcher even in that mindset, which I have to pitch around Ohtani, whatever. I would love to see one of these pitchers like go after him, and really see how healthy he is, dude. He barely has been swinging the bat.
Yeah.
But
Like,
try to get him to strike out.
Though it's just
change up your strategy, dude. You gotta figure something out.
But he's not hurting you. That's just, like, the worst part.
Right. No, well, I'm just saying, like, he's doing something though. Like, the fact that you have to pitch, that Clark has to open the game with 5 pitches just to him, like, that is a problem. And then it ends up being a walk. Like, you think that probably killed his confidence,
Yeah.
That is a problem.
Yeah, but I just know that you don't have to be programmed the mound if you score.
That's
so
right.
That's
right.
I can't. I just can't get off of that, especially because, like I said, their offense is not on fire. I mean, it's just not. They've obviously had some big hits, so that part of it's on fire. But it's not like it's like boom, like these 5-6 hit innings that they're not happening.
Yeah, no,
5 hits the whole game.
Yeah, and there's opportunities where you're just not, with runners on. The rare time that you did have runners on, like, you're just not taking advantage.
Yeah,
and I mean, I guess, the 9th inning, dude. Honestly, I really thought they would get, like, something else going, like, beyond that 2-run homer after Verdugo.
Well, especially that Glaber. I mean,
like,
he worked the count.
Yeah,
like that it has to be a weak round too. It's like, I know it's like, I mean, it's got to be hard as a hitter to, like, really, like, pick your spots in terms of where the ball's going to go. But how is it that, like, every ground ball you hit is always at the fielder? I mean, I know it's like goes back to their positioning, but it's just like, it still seems like you should have been able to figure out a way. So I know there's some good and bad here, but let's just see the comments. Nobody's safe, though, by the way. So
nobody's safe, dude.
there is a particular someone that might be hearing an earful.
Oh, okay. All right. Fair enough. We have Kev Du leading off this show. It says, let's go. We want the smoke. Damn, the Knicks lost last night. And then Michael Buckter says, hey, Barnes, if you don't dress up as Zazu on Thursday, why don't you dress up as Baymax from Big Hero 6? Oh, you would be such a good one, he says.
Do you think Michael Buckter, like, listens at all? Or
no.
It's just all, like, in his head how he wants it to be.
In one ear, and then out the other. Yep. And then he says the Yankees are in deep shit. And then he has Barnes. I'm gonna go on all the rides in Disneyland just for you and think of you on all those damn rides, baby. I mean, that's
Next.
nice, dude. Come on. All right. We'll get past the Halloween stuff. Even though Michael Buckta, great, like Matthew, Gabriel, and Michael can dress up as Gaston and the Beast from Beauty and the Beast.
But
That's
also,
a great combo.
does he not
dude.
know Matthew? I mean, Matthew's not a big costume guy.
No. Yeah, I guess not. But I can see him dressing up as Gaston.
No, definitely
it,
not, dude. I'm not just saying that about myself. He definitely doesn't want to do that. I'll tell you that much.
Speaking of him, he says, golly, Michael B., read the room.
Yes, exactly. Put on the contacts, put on your glasses.
And then Josh was saying, hi, guys, in his Ross voice. Kev Du says, Brian, you feel sick. It's understandable. And then Poop Barlow here says, fuck it, Fat Joe for tonight too. What did you think about it? Were you like, were you
no,
like,
well, it just, you know what it is? It was just whatever. I don't know.
I didn't really like that.
People I was with, they were kind of shitting on him.
Yeah.
It kind of like, I don't know. You're there for the game. It's just, that doesn't do anything for me. So it's like, I'm not hating on Fat Joe, but it's just like, I just want to win the fucking game.
Exactly. Barlow in here says he's tired of the fake rallying in the ninth. And then he says, do you really think that Verdugo would have hit that homer if it was 2-0 to tie the game? Or you think just because it was...
What did Josh B say?
Josh B says, what an irrelevant question. And then Barlow says, how is it irrelevant if it precisely highlights that the Yankees don't show up in however such meaningful moments, but find hits when the game is over, which is an interesting point.
Actually, go to Josh first.
He says, hypothetical questions are irrelevant. How's that? LMAO.
And it's just, you know what? It's irrelevant because I think, all of us Yankee fans are agreeing on this. I mean, Verdugo's, obviously he's a good fielder, but he's no good. So it's like, it doesn't. Yeah. What are we talking about here? We're not thinking he's any good to begin with.
And then let's see. Matthew Gabriel says, how in the fuck can we know that? Slumping in the World Series, man, oh man. I mean, it's fucking just, dude. And then Michael Domack in here from Mistaken Heart Account says he's speechless. Normally have an excuse or a reasoning, but he's emotionless. Judge has let down the entire state of New York. And he says, I cannot believe that there's no genuine fight. The last 18 innings have been terrible, other than both 9 innings when the Dodgers gave us a couple of runs. Also, he says, me personally, I feel like Soto seeing the team crumble around him and Judge not being able to hit a baseball is going to cause him to leave. In his humble opinion, he says.
Michael. It's just it's.
I mean,
he doesn't. It's unfortunate, but there's a couple of things this year, with the Mets hat and all that, and just like these spread out fandoms. And Domack, you're better than that. I mean, it's just
people like the Mets. I don't know.
No reason to go there, at all. So just very distasteful.
Yeah, that is very distasteful. And also, come on, Soto. I don't think so, dude. Matthew Ryan says series is done. Brian, what do you have to say to like fans that are like it's over?
Well, listen, I am gonna be like the realistic person here. I mean, like I said, different yesterday. 2-0 win, you're back in 3-0. Obviously, we all know the history of 3-0 leads in the World Series. But I was saying this about you before, and it doesn't make sense. I understand. But at the same time, I mean, you win tonight, it's 3-1. Seen some 3-1 comebacks. So,
that's right. And
I mean, I know you could go back, but you can only go back from this point forward. And what were you going to say?
I'm saying both games here, I mean, we're at home, so you have that advantage there.
Imagine if, Garrett Cole needed to pitch a perfect game tomorrow, he probably would.
Yeah.
If he was given the opportunity.
Absolutely, dude. Do you think would you have left Cole in the game longer for his start?
Yeah, but it's just, you know what it is again, but you could have taken him out, but Nestor. I mean, that just like, that is it. Just going into it, you knew it was a bad move, and it just like we were talking about it last night, and it's just like, Boone with his like obsession of a guy getting his moment. It's like, well, nice moment that you gave him. Actually, you gave him the worst moment of his fucking life. So nice one. It's like, oh, you want to see how he looks, but like maybe like last night, put him in that situation. Why are you putting him in with the game on line?
Because they were talking about Boone a lot in the broadcast last night, cutting to him a lot, and he was just obviously, I mean, he was looking like he had the wind knocked out of him. And honestly, some of the questions in the post game, I mean, just we're not great answers. We're not straightforward. I don't know. What do you think about Boone? And do you think he's really like significantly mismanaging? Do you think he has lost these games?
Well, it just, there's a few things to sort out here. And I think the first is you have to realize that it's like definitely was and being there and feeling the stadium shake. It's like, I mean, blowing that game in game one. I mean, that is demoralizing, but see, that's the thing. So it's like, and yes, that's the result of what he did. But it does make me disappointed in the players, though, that it's like you can't rise above that. Like,
Right.
like it just feels like you should be. And like I've kind of been mentioning, does it come down to that, guys that are in this starting lineup and in crucial parts of this lineup are producing. So it's like you can't, I mean, this is the World Series. I mean, you can't have an automatic out and you have a lot of them,
Right. Yeah. No, you're totally right.
So it's tough, but it's just interesting. Like, despite that, like because of some of the really talented guys you do have, you still feel like, you should be able to garner better results. So, it's a tough spot as a fan right now. Because it's like, you know what I mean? You don't want to be the we're gonna do it 3-0 and just count on that. But at the same time, you know what I mean? So then you don't want to jump into next year. So I guess you just have to start with the one game. And it doesn't mean that it's gonna happen, but also, I mean, just like we've seen in sports, like these things oh, this has never happened. This kicker's made this many kicks in a row, yada, yada, yada. There's never been a field goal so long. I mean, stuff eventually is gonna happen.
Right.
So you never know when it will. And I think, Matthew says, right, just win tonight. So that's what you would like to see. Because I mean, you really just want to just put all your chips in the front. And it's I don't know, it's interesting. I don't know if they're gonna do anything like this, but I would love to see too, the lineup come out and it's Dominguez starting. Just why not?
Yeah,
at this
why
point,
not?
What is there to lose? And
yeah.
So it would be nice to see something like that. And I don't know, do you put Oswaldo in there? And yeah, as Matthew said, it's literally the only thing we could do. Yeah, and you just want to feel listen, at the end of the day, we of course we want to win this series, but just more than anything, just to as part of who you are, as a Yankee and as a Yankee fan, it's just you just want to, other people were talking about in the comments, you just want to see some fight, just crazy. It really is crazy. So it's just disappointing. And like I said, I just don't think they're doing anything that crazy. It's just how could you not put anything together?
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, they're not doing anything crazy. They're just playing their game. They have been all year long. Some of their big players are showing up. Their pitchers are showing up. It's just nothing crazy. They're just playing baseball. Like you said, I mean, it does feel like the Yankees just don't have a lot of fight here. I mean, again, I mean, the lineup on paper, the team, the way they're playing, it's not like they're doing anything ridiculous. Just big hits and big moments and showing up. Yankees have had those opportunities, just not really capitalizing. So, I mean, but like you guys said, I mean, it starts here tonight. I mean, you got Dodgers in a bullpen game. They used a lot of bullpen pieces last night. So, I mean, it should be interesting to see how Roberts kind of navigates that. It worked. I think that was the game that they still lost. I think the Mets lost the bullpen game against the Dodgers. Well, regardless, it's a new opportunity here. You're going to see a lot of different guys. Somebody has to just get to somebody, I feel, at this point. He's got to get out there, just be calm, establish your fastball. Don't be running it out of the zone because you're too, hopped up on adrenaline or whatever. And then if the Yankees, just play their game, they're going to win.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And, you just hope, because the Dodgers, I mean, obviously you understand the position that they're in, but, after the game, they're talking about one more and parade and Dave Roberts talking about being on the other side of 3-0. So you just hope that those type of things, come back to bite. And, the Yankees could use him as
Mhm.
bulletin board material, and maybe too that the fact is, they might feel that going into this game that they don't have anything to lose.
That's right. I mean, because they don't right now.
Yeah.
It's all now.
And just also too, like kind of didn't really respond to this at first, but it was another one of Domac's comments there about Judge laying down the city of New York. And like I know we went over this yesterday, but I know that it's the performance, Tony, has been so bad, but I don't have it in me to blame this on him, because I just feel like it's not just him. Is he
Right.
part of the problem? Yes, but you can't look at this and say that it's all his fault, because it's just not. It's just not, and it's just too many other guys are just not doing their job. That's what it comes down to.
Everyone, I will say you're right. I mean, people that are calling up and talking about Judge and his postseason is never going to be good, whatever. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because it's just whatever he's going through right now, and it's not entirely his fault for why the Yankees are down 3-0. But at the same time, I mean, you got to admit, his first at bat, I believe there was a runner on. Was there a runner on his first at bat?
Yeah, Glaber.
Glaber
walked, and then Soto flew out.
I mean,
I really thought he was going to hit a home run.
Like
I really
that.
did.
That is the moment, though, where it's
Yeah.
like you cannot people expect it from you. You're the face of the team. You're one of the biggest faces of the team. You're the captain. Like, you're expected to jumpstart this offense. People are expecting that from you. Judge has the highest expectations, I think, by far from anyone in this series to perform well. So, I mean, even the fact of the matter is he's not standing up to that. And I mean, if people want to harp on that, they can. But I mean, there are a multitude of reasons, but I can also see why that specifically is sticking with people. Because
yeah, absolutely. And it is, you want answers, and I go back to when we had the ESPN event at Publicans. I asked Rick specifically, or no, actually it was at the Beach Bash, but I asked Rick. I just said, like, because it was during the time when they're struggling in the middle of the season,
Mhm.
just like when this losing streak, like when it starts, when it stops, like what do you notice? Like what happens? And he literally said, like, he wishes that he had the answer for that. So the fact that the player themselves don't have an answer for it, I mean, it is just crazy. But I don't know. It just feels like you will and you should be able to bounce out of it no matter what.
That's
Especially if you're very talented and you're a multiple time MVP.
Yes, no, you're completely right. And I mean, not for nothing, Judge still has the opportunity to, like if he has a big game tonight, I mean, the script is going to flip, the narrative is going to change, and then who knows what happens? Like you said, Cole next game, like, let's go, dude.
Yeah,
that's the start you need. That's the start you've been needing, and you got it when he pitched. You need it from someone else, but if you can make it that Cole game, I mean, you can make it 3-2, dude.
Yeah, no, you can. You can, and I think it's just tough as a fan, just because you feel like game one was yours, and then you didn't like the performance last night, so it's like, and to be so amped up. There was a lot of it was great at the stadium. Great, obviously didn't turn anything, but they were doing like the Dodger introductions, like middle through it. Everyone's just like sick of it.
Yeah.
Let's go Yankees, overpowering, so you couldn't hear the players being introduced.
I mean, let's fucking go, dude.
So I was saying though, everybody was riled. So it's just like, can what we expected last night happen tonight?
I think so, dude. And I mean, when you really want to look at it, I mean, I feel like the Yankees are really almost set up for a dramatic comeback. Because I don't think the Dodgers are really built for a 7-game series with this pitching, with Bueller not going a lot, with having to have a bullpen game in there. And I mean, you really want to think, how much longer can Freddie Freeman honestly, one, keep this up, and two, even fucking play, dude? He's like hobbling all over the field. He took a foul ball off that ankle too, dude, last night. He's getting banged up. Ohtani with the shoulder. I mean, I think if you, again, push it to a game 5, a game 6, I don't think the Dodgers are going to last, dude.
Yeah. But it's all just about getting to that point.
Exactly. You got to win this game tonight, dude. That's all it is, dude.
And it's like the same thing, applies for tonight. So you just hope that that's the start of it. And I think the biggest thing, you could tell when this team is playing, inspired, confident baseball, and when they're confident, they can beat anybody. But it's like that confidence isn't showing right now, but it will show if they do score 3 runs in the first inning tonight. So I think as fans, you want to start somewhere, and you just want any type of doubt to creep onto the Dodgers. That's what you need right now, and it starts with like a big performance tonight. And you would think like it just doesn't. I mean, you tell me, and I know it's been so ugly, but it just feels like there's no way that these guys are going to just completely lay down tonight. It just doesn't feel like that would be possible.
No, I don't think so at all, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think that's exactly what like should be said in the locker room. Like now,
right? Like
right we're now. We're not laying down. Like this is it. Like everything you have, like your back is against the wall. It is literally like lose or go home. Like, and you're not going to go down like this in this fashion at Yankee Stadium. Like, there's no way, dude.
And your mother talking about a Christmas list. Can we tell her that a Game 4 victory is at
number
the top
1,
of the list?
dude?
Can you do us that solid, dude?
Oh my gosh. Yes. I'll get on that. I thought I sent it to you, but maybe it didn't go. I don't know. But regardless,
it's crazy that it's even that time of year.
I know, dude. I'm actually looking for. I'm gonna get a new electric razor. I'm asking for, which is gonna be pretty solid. I'm due for that one.
Just like
good
offensive performance and
by the Yankees. Let's go, dude.
Oh man. I always say to you, Tony, I just I'm doing my best, but these spots just are not my specialty. You know what I mean? It's like, and we had adversity last series with the Noel home run, and the David Fry. And I just thought last night would be the start of that, but truth be told, you can do it tonight, but it's just like, you just absolutely have to. So, I mean, and you really like it for you, is it like just, if as long as they could strike first, you think that that's just going to carry them the rest of the way?
I think so. Especially with Heel on the mound, I'm sure he would feel a lot better, a lot more calm if he had some run support early on.
Yeah.
Right. So that'll make him pitch deeper.
Don't walk Ohtani.
Don't walk Ohtani. Start. I mean, it's that simple, dude. Like, I would love to again, especially Heel. Like if you can locate your fastball immediately against Ohtani, like throw gas, attack him, make him swing and miss. Like, dude, his fucking shoulder. You see him walking back from like being on first base, whatever, and he's holding his shoulder like this, like he's not healthy. Like,
right,
attack him, dude. Like, what? Like, come on, So I totally think, and then again, like if Torres, even just to get some hits going,
right,
like just early on, just to be like, hey, like we're here, we have some offense, we're capable here, like let's fucking go, dude. I think that would be surefire way Yankees jumpstart, something going on. They take this game.
Yeah. So what we need right now, Tony, is a rally Game 4 frenzy.
I mean, let's go, Brian. If not now, then when? Okay, dude. It's a sweet little Tuesday here, late October here in the Fall Classic. It's Dodgers, it's Yankees, it's do or die here, Brian. Luis Heel on the mound. Obviously, we know that he can reach back for the fastball, and when he locates it, he can be very effective. Dodgers are right where you want them with the bullpen game here. It's interesting to see who they toss out there. Dodgers plus 125, still dogs here. Over under, as it's been 8.5. Brian, how are the Yankees getting their first win of the series?
It has to be.
Let's go, Brian.
The Yankees in the over. It has to be the offense striking early. It has to be 3 runs in the first inning. It has to be Luis Heel with 6 innings or 2 runs or less. It has to be consistent offense all game long. And I just think this script, was not meant to end this way. It was not meant to end this way with this feeling. So I think new life here. I want to say 10 hits, 8 runs. Judge finally hitting a 3-run homer. And the Yankees take this one finally handily. The first win of the postseason without question. 8-2. Garrett Cole, Game 5 in the Bronx tomorrow.
Love that, dude. I totally agree. I think Yankees do come out here. I think the stadium is rocking. I think they're ready for a win. They're due for the win. I think Heel, first inning, the fastball is located. It's 3 up. It's 3 down. All on strikes, dude. And then I think third inning, Yankees start the scoring. I'm going to go Anthony Volpe, Brian. I say maybe with Verdugo on the bags. Volpe puts one out. 2-run homer. They're up. Judge gets going later, 7th inning, maybe a 3-run blast. Yankees go on to win this one, blanking them 5-0, Brian.
And just like that, that is your World Series Game 4 frenzy. Let's go. And let's get some new life tonight. And let's go to the world of the National Football League.
He wants Jefferson, climbs the ladder. Oh my goodness! Justin Jefferson, the catch of his life.
Burrow fires, intercepted, picked off at a pick 6. Minka Fitzpatrick, an absolute ball hawk.
Niners twist up front and get to Tagovailoa. Bosa again. Mahomes escaping on the move, stops, spins, flips it forward for the touchdown.
Stop it.
Aaron Jones. Oh, what a tackle. Quincy Williams with a pile driver.
All right, so Daniel Jones is now 1-15 under the bright lights as the Steelers 26-18 over the New York Giants last night. So Russell Wilson winning his first 2 starts as the Pittsburgh Steelers starting quarterback. The Steelers now 6-2 on the season, first place in the AFC North here, and looking like a really tough opponent and a real threat in the AFC. And it is interesting, with the move to Wilson and Fields had done well as a starter going 4-2, but it just seems like the vertical passing game with Wilson has taken this offense to the next level. He averaged last night almost 10 yards per completion, just 9.9, 20 to 28, 278, a touchdown. And Najee Harris too, I feel like is running with more bark than we've seen in the last couple of years. 19 carries for 114 yards, and on the year, he's averaging 4.4 yards per carry. And then finally, Jaylen Warren, he's been banged up a lot this year. He had a nice game as well, 9 for 46. So running the ball, they were effective, 31, 167, 5.4 yards a carry. And it was interesting that the Giants actually ran for almost as many yards.
Tracy,
more
dude.
efficient. Tracy, 157 in the score. Only difference, no touchdown passes. And a crucial interception from Daniel Jones, as well as a fumble that ended the game. So again, Jones with the turnovers, doing the Giants in. And, I think it was probably, even though Pittsburgh covered the spread, was a closer game than, I had anticipated. But I think it's just one of those things, once again, it doesn't matter how close a loss is. I mean, it's just you either win or you don't. And right now, the Giants aren't winning. And I think all their fans are reminded every single game that Daniel Jones isn't the guy.
Right.
And while there are some outliers, and there have been some good guys that you've brought in via the draft, clearly hasn't been that good. So the mix of the draft and free agency, Giants continue to be what they've been other than the one playoff year, which we all knew everyone's excited. Vikings and
Fluke.
Ungats since
dude.
then, right? It's just, I don't know. As an organization, it seems like people are. Who is it?
My mom. Hey, Mom, you're live on the show.
Aunt?
Yes, Mom.
Anthony.
What?
Hi. Listen, I wanted to tell you and Bonds that the Yankees need to find their heart. They're not playing with their heart. That's why they're losing.
There it is, Brian.
Yeah. Yep. Gotta find the magic tonight.
They're not there. You could see it last night. They were pissing me off, and I don't even like them.
Yeah. I mean, it just, I say it all the time too, though. I mean, it just, if you want to win, you got to hit.
Yeah.
Can't score, you can't win.
Starts tonight.
That's where it needs to start. It needs to start early, and you got to have momentum as well.
Yeah. Are you going to be watching the game tonight, Mom?
Yes, of course. Me and Daddy have been watching. Daddy went to bed early last night. He said, forget that.
Oh, boy.
He was mad.
Yeah.
But you could see they're just not they're not playing. And that used to be always the way, even when you were in sports. If you weren't there to play, you didn't win.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right, Mom.
And you could see it. You could see how they're acting. I don't know why. Even Judge, he looks sad.
Yeah. I mean, it's, you gotta, and then it just was tough, being there. It's just, we're all of us fans were looking, for something to, get going with. And when it doesn't happen, I mean, obviously it's disappointing, but you got to just fight through that.
Yeah. I mean, they need somebody to give them a really good pep talk.
I think that's what it really does boil down to.
They need Joe Torre to go in the locker room.
Yeah, but I say it all the
kick some
time.
ass.
It's just you have to find it in yourself, and it's up to the players. They have to do it regardless of what that. You have to come through.
So
you come through, you don't.
What do you think, Mike? You think they're going to win tonight?
I'm conflicted, and I don't know.
Yeah.
They look bad. Like, I don't understand. They're one of the best teams in the whole league, and they didn't come to play.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
It does seem like, that crucial and gut-wrenching game when lost, took some win out of the sails, but it's just, I already said it. I mean, you got to be able to bounce back from that. Every game is a new game.
I mean, Brian, honestly, I thought they were going to win last night.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, I expected, fire early on.
Yeah, everything was in their corner. They were back home, but Aaron Judge didn't even get a hit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was shocked.
I just, it's one thing or the other. New life tonight, or you call it. So I mean, it's up to them. What do they want to do? And the answer.
Night.
Just about executing.
Gotta
do it.
Just gotta do it. Yeah, we still got you, Mom.
I said the other team was all beat up. They should have been able to beat them, no problem.
I know.
I
think what I was saying too. Yeah, like the Dodgers are beat up. I think tonight will be a good opportunity. You're gonna see. I think the Yankees win tonight here, Ma, and by a significant margin.
Well, I hope so. I'm a New York fan, no matter what.
Yes, we know that.
I hope they found their mojo.
Yes.
We all do.
Absolutely.
Here.
Absolutely. Let's go.
Yes. Ma, what else you got?
Don't worry. I'm going to say a prayer for the Yankees, and that'll do it.
There we go.
Thank you, Mary. Appreciate it.
I will. And you guys send good light and love to them, and they're going to do okay.
That's right.
All right. Let's see. Thank you.
All right. I'll be watching.
All right. Sounds good,
Have
Mom.
a great day.
You too, sweet guys, and you have a great show. I'm almost to work now, so I'm not going to be able to listen anymore.
Oh boy! All right, have a good day at work, Mom.
I'm sure we. Yeah, you guys too, and have good karma for the Yankees.
All right, let's go.
Thank you.
See you later.
Let's go, Yankees! Bye.
Bye.
Great call there. Great call.
There we go, dude.
Jay, on the other side of things, like he has been for the last couple of months on my shit list. Time to pay for the Yankees. No shit, Jay. But he does say fresh hat, so we'll give him that.
Yeah, that's good.
And then
it is a good hat.
Josh B saying Mama Materiello dropping knowledge, and Ernie saying ridiculous play lately. Shake my head. Yeah. So it's just, it's tough, and excuse me, by the way.
I mean, yeah, dude. Yeah.
I mean, it's just one of those things, like it's this, it's that. But you got to just do it. And that's what it comes down to. Doesn't need to be a scapegoat. You just have to figure out a way. And you really would like to see a really good fight. And it is interesting though, because I mean, obviously, 4 in a row, World Series, we get it, the history, daunting task, but it is interesting though. Just somehow, you could find a way to win today. You feel like Garrett Cole will do whatever it takes. So then you extend it back to Los Angeles.
Yeah.
It could get interesting, but it has to start with tonight. And let's see what happens. But it would something special could start tonight. So
that's right.
Be a part of that. So and I know we were in the middle of the football here. Really, I mean, it was just I think a reminder last night. Steelers once again, seem to be a contender, and the Giants aren't and are far away. And I am interested to see, how far this Steeler team could go. Because I mean, you want to talk about redemption. I mean, what a redemption story it would be, Tomlin and Russell Wilson in the Super Bowl for the Steelers.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I think it's really tremendous what Tomlin is doing here. And I mean, kudos honestly for putting Wilson in there.
Yeah.
I know I've been big on Fields, and I still am. I think he's going to be a starting quarterback, a great starting quarterback. But it does seem like maybe putting in Wilson, having him play right now is obviously doing well. I know it's just the Giants, but not for nothing, Wilson did still show up, made big plays. Honestly, his accuracy was great. He was like teardropping balls into baskets, whatever. And also on the sideline, I mean, what am I seeing? I'm seeing Russell Wilson chatting up with Justin Fields, or I kind of laugh and having a good time, watching back something. So I think, Justin Fields is getting what he really needed, which is like a veteran quarterback in front of him to really show him what to do, how to play in the league. And again, I mean, those two quarterbacks too have a similar style of play. So I mean, I think it's going to work wonders for Fields. And I mean, he already was doing well. So I think it's great. And Tomlin seems to be on the same page with Wilson as well. I think it was maybe the touchdown throw to Pickens. They were celebrating afterwards. It seemed like that whatever they're doing is gelling, so that's great. Obviously, defense is good. That last drive, Brian, that interception, Highsmith and Watt weren't even on the field for the last two plays, and they're still getting picks, which obviously, I mean, that throw was ridiculous. It was Daniel Jones all day. Again, you want to talk about how the Giants actually fucking played well. I mean, Slayton had a good game. The running game went well. Jones was looking good. And then you throw a pick on the final drive. There's 50 seconds left. You're at the 40,
35-yard line.
Come on, dude.
Short right past the Singletary.
And you overthrew him by a pretty high margin and threw it right to a Steeler. What are you doing, dude? You had the game on the line and you blew it. And honestly, I know you were saying Jones is not the guy. He's not. But I mean, not for nothing, I do hear a lot of apologists out there for Daniel Jones. And it's dude, you see a game like this where it's the offensive line didn't blow this. There was no, he had the pieces. The receivers were doing well. Your running game was going. Daniel Jones fucked that up, dude.
Big time.
So it's come on, dude. You got to figure, I understand there are more issues with the Giants, miscues on offense, the defense, maybe some coaching issues, sure. But Daniel Jones had that game in his hands and he fucking he threw it away, literally. So, I mean, Giants, dumpster fire, Steelers looking good. It does. I would like to see how Wilson would stand up against better teams. I don't know what their schedule's looking like coming up.
Bye this week, and then they will play Washington. So
okay.
I think that'll be a good test there because I mean, Jaden Daniels, is lighting the world on fire right now.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Got a comment here from Michael, by the way, which will get you pretty riled here. The sports port is unlimited. Where are we watching the greatest World Series comeback ever tonight? ?
Listen. Like I've always said to you fellas, the door is always open.
That's right, Matt.
Yeah, Matt. I mean, it seemed like he was coming, so let's go.
Yeah.
Gotta go. Come
up. Buck the hype for the Steelers now. It says could have lost that game last night. And Poop Barlow, you're my homie. We vibing, he says. And Russell Wilson looks good on that team, and he does.
Yeah. It's pretty unbelievable.
Do you think that's all Tomlin?
I mean, it's definitely part of it,
right? I mean, it just.
But you gotta have a coach that supports you. Sean Payton was throwing him under the bus, blaming him.
Yeah, not good, dude. And I mean, how much more support could Tomlin show? I mean, Fields doing well, Russell's coming back. He's our starter. Full belief in him.
And I was gonna ask. I know what we did. Do you have the text of the TCA picks last week?
I have it written down. I think. Yeah. Their picks.
Yeah.
So, let's see what we have for them. They had Chiefs minus 9.5.
So they 0-1.
0-1. Ravens minus 8.5. 0-2. And then Lions minus 12.
And that hit because they blew them out.
They did blow them out. Yep.
Okay, so 1-2, and we went 1-1-1.
What was the push? Oh my gosh,
Pack,
the
right?
Pack,
Or was
yeah.
the Pack
No.
3.5?
No, the Packers were 4.
Were they really? Okay,
That's what I had written down.
Okay, so we went 1-2 as well. Steelers hit last night though.
Steelers hit, thank God.
I just wanted to
The Jets.
Yeah, well, we said it.
And Rodgers fucking lost me for fantasy. If I started Hurts over Rodgers, I would have won fantasy. That fucking asshole. Fuck that guy, ayahuasca smoking motherfucker.
Let's see. So let me just update this quick. Why the
Michael Buckner coming in here says Tomlin Wilson for 2024. He says, fuck the Chiefs. They got a real 7-0 team, which is interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, they got the job done. They are a real 7-0 team, Michael.
Wait,
that's the difference.
Michael
Buckdale, yeah.
Yeah, that's a little what do we?
I mean, they are 7-0. You can't really argue that. I know the games have been tight. They don't look as good as they've been in the past, but they're winning MFing games. So that's that, dude. Confused over there? What do you got?
Okay, no, I got it now. So, we go to 15-8.
Okay.
And then they are 11, 12-1.
I'll fucking take that, dude. Let's go, man.
Let me just write this.
Yeah, you write that down. You text it in the group. Wow, Josh B, dude, says can't gain ground. Laughing emojis.
No.
We
15-9, by the way.
We're 15-9?
Yeah.
And they're what? 11?
11, 12-1.
We got 4 games, baby. Let's freaking go.
Let me just write this down.
Write that down. That's right, Josh B. You hear me out there, dude?
We were the ones with all the ties last year.
That's right. Now you have the ties. Now you were the ones.
13, yeah. So that matches up. Suck it. I wish though there was a little more bite out of the TCA this year. It seems like they're kind of laying down,
Yeah, dude. I don't know.
Fortunately, kind of reminiscent of a certain performance through the first 3 games of the World Series in a sense.
I suppose there's a parallel there.
Yeah.
Hopefully they don't make a comeback.
And hopefully the Yankees
do. Michael Buckner says Mahomes can't stop throwing the ball to the other team. 9 interceptions in 8 games.
Well, Michael, this is
which is kind of wild.
It is wild, but especially there are certain players you just throw numbers out the window, certain teams. And let's be real, we just were talking about this. It's are we really going to be surprised come Super Bowl Sunday in New Orleans, Tony, if the Chiefs are representing the AFC and later on that evening hoisting yet another Lombardi trophy? It's not going to be a surprise. It will not be a surprise. There's other contenders.
Yep.
But I'm saying that happening will not be a surprise.
No, it won't be. It will not
in any form or fashion.
No fashion or form, dude. Surprised.
So it's kind of unbelievable. And Hopkins hasn't even gotten going. So imagine when that happens, your Pacheco will get back at some point. I mean, you're going to be tough, but it will. Is there a Steeler Chief game come this season or no?
Let's check it out, dude. See what the Steelers' schedule is like, dude.
No, Washington off the bye. There is a Chiefs second last game of the season.
Second to last game of the season.
So
dude.
Interesting to see if they're jockeying for position there.
Yeah, you'd imagine. I mean, Steelers, obviously Ravens in there. Who knows what the Bengals are going to be looking like? They played the Bengals the last week of the season as well. Yeah. So it could be great back-to-back weeks here for the Steelers. But I guess, time will tell how that AFC North plays out. Because like we were saying, Steelers have Commanders and Ravens back-to-back now coming up. So
what's the funniest thing ever? The Jets will start out week 9, East Rutherford, New Jersey, favored over the 6-2 Texans.
Why?
I don't care about the Vegas trap. Wouldn't you be? I would be stunned if they beat the Texans.
I mean,
absolutely stunned.
If my name is Jason Libertelli right now, like I'm putting a lot of money on Houston.
Yeah.
Like while you still can get that -105.
Stop. Right? I mean, just
Or
minus
plus
105.
plus 10. Wait, hold on.
Be careful with the minus 105s though.
Oh, it opened at -105. Now it's at plus 110, I guess. People
for Houston as a money line.
Yeah.
Oh, could get the 2 points though.
People started betting the Jets, I guess. Wait, get the fuck out of here with the Jets right now.
Jets
dude. I can't. There's no fucking shot.
No, they're not even worth our time. And just looking at the other games we got coming up this week, Falcons hosting the boys. So obviously Cowboys feels like their season is on the line here. 3-5 or 3-4. Well, the Falcons coming at 5-3, first place in the NFC South. Speaking of a season on the line, Dolphins 2-5 at the Bills. Obviously they've had some interesting games between the two teams the past couple of years, but it's just the way the Bills are going, it's hard to envision that. Raiders and Bengals, you would think the Bengals hang in there. I mean, it's crazy.
First win at home,
almost has 2,000 yards, 15-3.
I mean, with the
touchdown interception ratio, but they're 3-5, so you would think they hang in there. The Browns are interesting. The Browns hosting the Chargers. Jameis Winston, new life in the team. Chargers 1.5 point, road favorites here. It's interesting because I do think the Chargers are a solid team, but are the Browns going to rally around Jameis? It seems like there's a good possibility there.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he looked really good this past weekend.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I would love to think the Chargers win that game, but the Browns are going to give them a fighting chance. Defense is solid as well. Chubb, right? I mean, he gets going.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to get going. He scored a touchdown, but hasn't had like
that big game
just yet. So that'll be interesting. Toilet Bowl, Titans hosting the Patriots. Tennessee, 3-point favorites there. Another toilet bowl just because the Commanders should beat the Giants by 50. It's interesting though. Do you think like we could see whether it's like Jones bench for the season or Dable fired if that one gets out of hand? Like I'm talking home game though, and it's like they're 0-4 at home, and then let's say hypothetically they lose this game 49-7. You don't think there's any thought John Mara embarrassed?
I think he said that he's not going to make any coaching changes this year or the offseason.
But doesn't that usually mean like
I know. But I don't know. I don't think anyone's getting benched. I think they're going to go like full head of steam out there, dude.
I mean, how do you have pride that way, though? I don't know.
Because I don't know. They're going to see this thing to the end, dude. And then after this year, hopefully they fucking, I don't know. Get rid of some people.
I don't know how that's close.
It's not gonna be close, dude.
Toilet bowl again. Saints Panthers. I guess Carr will be back. But I mean, I don't know. Tough to get juiced up there.
Yeah, no.
Ravens Broncos is a good one. So Ravens looking to bounce back. Broncos one of the hottest teams in the NFL. Baltimore 9.5 point favorites. So you would think a trendy pick here would be taking those 9.5 points, but will be interesting because obviously Baltimore, has lost to Cleveland, has lost to the Raiders. So
it sounds like you're trying to bait the TCA to taking that wide margin on the spread.
Hey, I'm actually being honest here. I'm not even trying to do anything because I think I don't even need to because they're gonna make the wrong picks anyway, right?
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. I can see. I can see the Ravens just really like kind of blowing it.
Like losing, you're saying? Yeah. No, me too. So some value there for Jason as a outright dog.
Yes.
Juice. I can only imagine what the odds are.
He had a good parlay hit, made a pretty penny.
Find the odds if they have that. Jags at Eagles. Jags season feels like it's over. Obviously, they will do anything to survive another night here.
-105.
No. But the money line. It's
on the money. No.
Plus what?
Money line's plus 360 for the.
That's a Jason Libertality.
Yeah.
Outright.
I think you meant taking the spread. Okay.
Outright
plus 360. Yeah, bet 100.
You would think Barkley runs over the Jags, like maybe 200 yards rushing.
Eagles
7.5 point favorites at home.
Easy
Bears
money.
Cardinals. That's interesting. Cards, trending in the right direction. The heartbreak for Caleb Williams and the Bears last week.
Yep.
Can they bounce back? That should be an interesting one.
Lions Packers.
That's going to be one of the best games of the week.
Jordan Love, how healthy is he?
Yeah, Jordan Love. It seems like it's going to be a Malik Willis spot. So with that being said, can the Packers win? The Rams, new life after the win last night on Thursday Night Football against the Vikings. So 3-4, 4-4. So two really seasons, it feels like on the Lions. I mean, the Seahawks reeling. Losers are 4 out of 5. So
Tough loss to the Bills last week, dude.
Rams,
Or yesterday.
1.5 point road favorites, which is interesting. I guess Metcalf's still banged up. Your Sunday night football, Colts at Vikings. Feels like a bounce back spot for the Vikings. Just don't like what I see out of Anthony Richardson. Vikings 6-point favorites, and then rematch of the Super Bowl from I think 2021 between the Chiefs and the Bucks.
Chiefs. Yeah, cool.
And 8.5-point favorites for the Chiefs. Baker, trying to keep things afloat. Do they bring in a receiver? Who knows? But I think looking at these
You'll
games,
find out.
Right? I mean, it's interesting week ahead.
Yeah, I think so. Monday night matchup, I love that. I mean, anything that involves the Chiefs obviously is worth watching, especially Bucks, Baker, we're fans. There are some prime matchups here. And Michael Buckeye, I know, is pretty hyped. He says the Jets can beat the Texans 24-21. Zerloin, really figure it out. Game-ending field goal.
Cut him.
Yeah,
dude. Get him out of my sight.
So bad.
Yeah.
It really is.
And then I think also too, he was talking about teams that could beat the Chiefs, the yada yada yada. What was he saying?
Teams that can stop the Chiefs: Ravens, Lions, Steelers, Bills. I mean, absolutely, dude. I mean, those they face off. I mean, it's gonna be a battle, no doubt.
It's gonna be a battle, but I think Michael, what I would say to him, because I think he was so hyped last year, the anti-Tatum sentiment.
Yep.
Just be careful, because I just think it's we've seen what the Chiefs done, so it's just instead of maybe of what you want to happen, just think about it, that it's be tough to knock them off. And then, like I said, I know the offense doesn't look good, but they are, as everybody knows, they are a tough out.
Oh yeah, dude.
In the playoffs. And you think about, since they've had the Mahomes-Reed combination, I mean, the Patriots knocked them off, the Bucks knocked them off, and the Bengals, and I think that's it, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So that's not many teams.
Crazy.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But let's move along here to the world of the National Hockey League.
Here he comes. McDavid shoots. Top shelf. He scores. Captain with the overtime winner. That's the middle pick. It's a world-class hit right here. Tomsky stepping. Rink wide. Made the full split save.
Are you kidding me?
Turn. Side of the net. Between the legs, and they score. Filthy. David Pasternak. The silver trophy to the Golden Knights.
All right. So Rangers off last night, though, but back in action tonight in the nation's capital. And we had a few games last night.
That's right.
5-2 Panthers over the Sabres. Not much of a surprise there.
Nope.
Jackets 6-1 over the Oilers is interesting, but it's how much can we really take stock in that? Because I just feel like this is the same thing every year with the Oilers, and then it seems like they end up figuring it out. But I mean, nevertheless, disappointing start for them. Lightning, a home win there, 3-2 in overtime over the Preds. Stamkos, the return game. What do we got here?
We got JD in the house talking sports, talking shit at Matthew Ryan. You only pose as a Yankee fan for clout and for clicks. If you really cared, you'd cheer harder for them. Everything you've ever said about the Yankees has been nothing but clown talk. Bang.
Yeah, I mean, I think JD knows it.
Yeah.
It's just at the end of the day, we all just want the return to glory. But it has to start with tonight. Better start with tonight. Of course, it's been disappointing. But it is a new day, and there is an opportunity. And while it might seem like a very, 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 very uphill opportunity, it still is an opportunity. So you hope and you know that you have to make the most of it. That's really what it comes down to. We saw the Leafs 6-4 over the Jets. Jets first loss of the season, Tony. So they had, I guess wild. They were probably the lone undefeated remaining team in the NHL.
It has to be. I'd double check it though.
How about the Blackhawks outright in Colorado? I mean, you think finally, the powerhouse in Colorado is wearing down there? Or you think it's the early season start, and then they'll end up winning 45, 50 games? Yeah,
I think so, dude. I mean, that's what we kind of saw last year. The tough start. Georgiev, did he play? I don't even know actually. He did play. I mean, he has not been doing well. Terrible. Again, 21 saves here, facing 24 shots, each 5 save percentage. I mean, that's not great for him at all. I mean, you want to look at his numbers to start the year. 4.62 goals against on average. He's a 1-4 record too. Obviously, doing those 4 losses to start the season off for Colorado. 822 save percentage, and they have who the hell is their backup that they were using a couple games ago? Who's actually pretty solid. Let's see, where are we? Roster here. Roster. What the fuck? Goalies. What? Oh, Anunen. Justice Anunen, dude. The Finnish guy, that's right. He had some good starts, dude, for Colorado. So who knows if, what they're going to do with the goaltending position, but that's been a big question mark from the start of the year. But like you said, Brian, at this point, they're 5-5. They're going to hit hard probably at some point in terms of the Blackhawks. I guess good for them winning a game without Bedard in the score sheet. Very quiet night for him. 2 shots on goal, only 17 minutes too.
Yeah. But this is a year you want to see them get away from laughing stock status. And,
of course,
be hovering anyway around 500.
Maybe.
And speaking of laughing stock status, Sharks finally with a victory, 5-4 overtime victory in Utah. So Utah, the hot start, has been struggling. How about an old friend, not really, an old enemy, basically, Alex Wenberg, the game winner
last night. Sharks scored 3 goals in the third period within like 2.5 minutes to tie the game, which was wild. We had wasn't Vejmelka. Who the hell is the other?
Ingram.
Yeah, Connor Ingram in net. Gave up a couple of goals there, tough, and then Wenberg with the OT winner. Good for the Sharks rallying, getting their first. Or I guess their second their first overtime win. Their first win. Was it their first win?
First win.
It is their first
That's what
win.
I just said. Listen.
Yeah, no, I wasn't. Dude. I was thinking about something else.
Thinking about lunch. Dude.
Lunch. I am starving right now, rumbling. But regardless, good for the Sharks. But that's tough over there.
The Hurricanes 4-3 in overtime. It seems like Aho always wins it for the Hurricanes in overtime.
Yeah, big guy, dude.
And it's interesting, they move those pieces around, get Gensel, leads in free agency. So everyone's like, are they going to be as good? But they find themselves 6-2, and it seemed to be a contender. It'll be interesting to see as this season goes on, if they find themselves, near the top of the standings, if they kind of go for it again and maybe add a piece. Do you think there's a chance that they end up being, one of the top teams in the East here?
There always is, dude. They're another team, almost like they're almost like a few guys short of the Panthers. They're a team that's been together forever. So much talent. You mentioned Aho, Seth Jarvis, Kotkaniemi, Nikas. They have Jack Roslovic now, Jordan Stahl. He's been around forever. Martin Nook. You mentioned Svechnikov too. Do they have Frederick Anderson too, who's I think had a solid start. They're a full deep team. They have gotten outplayed obviously in the postseason in the past here, but it's just they're still a top team. They're going to be a force, no doubt, Brian.
Yeah. And then speaking of a force, the Golden Knights 5-0 shutout, 7-0 at home this year. So
kind of crazy.
0-2-1 on the road, but 5-0 victory here. Wah had a goal and 2 assists, and Kolasar with 2 goals and 1 assist. So, been an interesting start to the hockey season. Obviously, our focus is on the Blue Shirts tonight in Washington, and they've been a surprise at 5-2 this year. Rangers 4-0 away from Madison Square Garden. So interesting. Last game quick getting the start, so we'll get Igor back in net. The Lindgren reunion. Obviously we handled the Capitals in the playoffs last year. Any thought moving into this one, just in terms of what the game plan is? It's just as simple as play your game, and despite them playing well, you're a more talented team. It's all just about executing at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think so. I'd like to see maybe some better executing on offense, specifically maybe entering the offensive zone there through the neutral zone. Sometimes they have some trouble there, but play your game. Igor's tight. Charlie Lindgren over there is someone who can very easily be gotten to. Let's go, dude. It's another day at the office here for the Rangers, no doubt. No doubt.
Yeah.
Even though Capitals impressive 5-2 start. Watch out.
It feels like you're saying flash in the pan, though.
Well, yeah, flash in the pan. Just gotta, don't let Tom Wilson get under your skin. Like handle Ovechkin. You gotta watch him. Dylan Strome is off to a hot start, 9 points through these 7 games they've played. So maybe key on him a little bit, and you'll be fine.
But I mean, it pretty much, I know it's so early. I mean, how do you really make, assumptions and stuff? But I mean, pretty much everything you wanted to see to start this season from the Rangers, or I mean, what are your thoughts?
I mean, you're 6-1-1. Igor is dialed. Kreider's in there. Like Panarin has been killing it. We know that. So yeah, dude, Laffy, the extension looking good. That third line too with Kakko and Hedel. Let's go, dude. Absolutely. I think that there are things to build upon. Absolutely. But I mean, the start has been tremendous. And I mean, you're looking at a year that looks like to be similar as last.
Yeah, absolutely. So be interesting to see moving forward, who steps up, what the storylines are, and, how they can, again, put themselves in position to have an opportunity to compete for a Stanley Cup. That's the goal at the end of the day. But it's only right, Tony. Let's do a full-on Tuesday edition NHL Frozen Frenzy.
The Frozen Frenzy, Brian. Let's freaking go, dude. NHL. I'm pumped, dude. We're starting at the usual time. Same place, same time, 7 p.m., dude. ESPN. We're starting off in Boston, Massachusetts, believe it or not. The Bruins taking on the Flyers. Flyers off to the tough start, 2-6 here. Torts tight. Bruins, though, not off to a start that they want to be. 4-4-1, 3-2 at home specifically. Flyers here plus 165. Over under is 6.5. The spread there, Brian, goal and a half, by the way, too. Swayman has been good, but again, things are kind of weird. The goal situation. It just feels like, I don't know, something's going off there. And I don't know, man. What do you think? The Bruins have some offense here, take care of the Flyers?
Yeah, listen, hasn't looked great, but you're playing a Flyers team. You're at home. I know you've only 3-2 so far, but there's a reason why the odds here are minus 195. I think that is money in the bank. I'm going to say 2-0 Bruins. Pasternak with both goals. Swayman with the shutout. Bruins in the under.
I like that call, I do, but I'm going to go Oppo just because. Fuck the
Flyers
Bruins,
suck,
dude.
though.
Flyers do suck right now, but I think Sam Urson, he was great last year. I think he's going to start to catch fire now. First shutout of the year for him, dude. Flyers, Travis Konechny, maybe a goal and an assist. And I say Flyers going to win this game 2-0. Give me Flyers and the under, Brian. All right, book that one, Jason. Next game here, we're going to Montreal, the Bell Center. Brian's second favorite place here. Canadiens taking on the Kraken. Both teams 4-4-1, dude. Obviously, Seattle here minus 170, so they are road favorites. Over-under is 6.5. Joey Decord leading the goaltending frenzy there out of the Kraken. Boston College, I believe. Boston native, perhaps, even. Kraken recipients of a 3-game losing streak. Canadiens come off back-to-back wins. What do you think here?
Yeah, this is tough. But I guess I'm gonna just go home ice, right? I mean, it just seems like similar teams, and I know the Kraken, with losing streak. You said, right?
Yeah,
3
games in a row.
But even though we beat them, it seemed like Montreal. Seems like they could be a challenge sometimes too. So I can see this being a fast-paced, kind of exciting hockey game. But it feels like a 3-2 Canadian victory. I think in regulation. But it's the Canadiens and the under. Why are they called the Habs, by the way?
That is a nickname for Canadian. It's another word for a Canadian person. Canadian.
Oh, gotcha.
And I'm pretty sure back in the day it was actually like a derogatory term.
Really?
But then they took it back.
Gotcha.
So there we go, dude. I love the call. Mountain View, I do enjoy. Wait, did you said home ice, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's fucking go. Yeah, Canadiens. Fuck the Kraken. Fuck Joey Decord. No, Jared McCann, Jordan Eberle off to good starts there. But the Kraken, no, thank you. Mountain View, speaking of shutouts, had one already this year. Maybe a good showing, 34 of 35 saves. Montreal wins 2-0. Suzuki Caulfield are the goal scorers there. Next game, let's keep it pumping. A lot of games here. Actually, only 5 left. Regardless, let's go to Ottawa, sticking in Canada, Brian. The Canadian Tire Center as the Senators take on the Blues. Dude.
You think this will be a rating bonanza tonight?
Oh, gosh, I don't see it. I don't know, dude. Jordan Binnington looking good there for the Blues. which is why they actually are underdogs here in the road. Plus 140 on the money line, over under 6.5. That's interesting. Could be good. Jason Bertelli put some money on the Blues here tonight. I like Binnington. And speaking of, Boston kind of feeling with their goaltenders, their old goaltender, is Ullmark, not off to a good start here with the Senators. Forsberg, Anton, that is, getting most of the starts now. Should be interesting to see who starts for the Senators tonight, but they're coming off back-to-back losses. What do you think here?
Brady Tkachuk, future New York Ranger.
Wow.
Here. Hattie, Josh B. Hattie, this is just a test to see if we get it. If you're listening, I'm just kidding with you. But yeah, I think it's just 3-0 Senators. Nice and easy. And Tkachuk's trade value is going up. So let's get the deal done. Senators and the under.
Absolutely right, you are there. I'm going to go Blues, though. Another Oppo game here from Tony. I just think Senators have scored 8 goals in the past 2 games. They're due for a snooze fest on offense. I think that'll be because Jordan Binnington, full game shutout victory. Senators lose. Blues, Jordan Kyrou, lone goal, 1-0. Blues and the under, dude. Next game now, 4 left. We're going to Brian's second favorite arena, UBS, baby, in Elmont, New York. The Islanders taking on the Ducks at 7 p.m. ESPN. The Ducks looking to, I guess, continue their East Coast trip. They lost to the Rangers, obviously, the Devils, I believe, as well. They lost the Devils, back-to-back losses here, looking to try to get something going against the Islanders. Islanders 3-3. They're looking okay. Islanders have what it takes here, Brian.
It's interesting because this does feel like a game. The Islanders, the 2-0 lead. Troy Terry, 2 goals in the third, put them ahead. But sometimes, things are due to go the other direction. So maybe I can see this is a game. The Islanders 2-2 onto the third, and then newly re-signed Matt Martin, the go-ahead goal.
Wow.
3-2 Rangers, Islanders, and the under.
I do like the Islanders call. I'll take the Islanders here. Although Ducks have looked great, they're playing decent. I would love to see the Ducks succeed. I just think, give me Islanders. And for my first time tonight, I'll be taking the over. I think you'll get the Islanders. Palmieri has 7 points leading the team. Dobson, though, I think will have 3 assists tonight. Brock Nelson, a goal, as well as, I forget. I don't know why I'm blanking on his name. Matthew Barzal. Barzal, 2 goals for him. He's due. Dostal for the Ducks. Due for a clunker, I think, in between the pipes. I think he gets pulled. Second intermission. Reamer gets in there. There's no help. Islanders pile it on. They win 6-2. Islanders and the over here. Let's keep it going. I think there's 3 games left now. Let's go to Pittsburgh. The Penguins, the AARP members here, are playing the Wild, who are surprisingly 5-1 with 2 overtime losses. Over under 6.5 here. Both teams are favored on the money line. Minnesota minus 115, Pittsburgh minus 105. Pittsburgh coming off a 6-game losing streak. Wild taking their first L after losing 4 in a row, or after winning 4 in a row. Excuse me. Do they bounce back?
Yeah, I know you like your defense of Pittsburgh. Well, you got Crosby, you got Malkin. You never know, dude. You never know.
Fucking sucking ass.
And it does seem like the Wild, after a debatable year last season, are kind of back. And Zuccarello and Kaprizov have got off to a good start.
That's right,
here. And you would think Gustafsson in net. I could see like a 28-30 and a 4-2 Wild victory. Zuccarello, 2 goals and 1 assist.
I love that, dude.
Under.
Wild and the under. I'll take Wild and the over, I think. I'm going to go over, I think. Matt Boldy, Minnesota Wild. Hattie boom batty, Josh B. Boldy, I think, has 11 points in the season. Leads second for the Wild here behind Kirill Kaprizov, dude. Kaprizov, whatever, dude. Let's go now. 7:30, a little bit of a time change here because we're going to the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., Capital One Arena here as the Capitals are taking on the Rangers. Rangers 6-1-1. Caps 5-2-0, putting up a decent fight here so far, starting the year. Rangers minus 150 on the money line, over under 5.5. Vegas expecting a little bit of a low scoring game here, which is interesting. I guess they expect Capitals to keep it tight after just getting shut out by the Tampa Bay Lightning. Obviously, the Rangers coming off their win against the Ducks, where it felt like they didn't really fulfill their offensive potential. What do you see here tonight, Brian?
Yeah, you're right. Obviously, they were buttoned up.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you have to be in those type of games. But I think, they had success against Washington last year. They know the formula. They have most of the same guys back this year. Shesterkin, rested last game, fresh between the pipes, Tony. I think it's a Shesterkin shutout. Honestly, I think the Rangers are rolling right now. Adam Fox, first goal of the season, and give me Mika finding pay dirt as well. Goal and 2 assists, puck spread around, flowing nicely. 4-0 Rangers and the under. Let's go.
Right you are, Brian. Love that Igor shutout call. Absolutely. I think my third goalie shutout of the night here. So watch out there, Jason Ubertelli. Maybe some prop bets here. But I think, you said Rangers downhill. Maybe Panarin gets in the mix. Maybe Laffy gets in the mix as well. Obviously, a Riley Smith goal mixed in there. Rangers win 5-0. Easy money. Oh, one more game. That's right. My bad.
He thought I was out to watch.
Oh, dude. Let's go. Next game here. Last game, 10 p.m., the West Coast game. How could I forget? Brian, we got the Sharks are hosting the Kings here. Sharks seem to be a favorite of Brian's in the past, but hey, he went to see a Kings game earlier this weekend, so watch out. Kopi Tar leading the Kings there, 9 points. LA minus 270 there. Significant margin. Over under 6.5. Honestly, Kings not looking great. But Sharks, I don't think are due for a resurgence here. They already lost the Kings 3-2 earlier this year. So what do you got?
You're telling me, LA Times, if the Sharks were to win in overtime, the headline wouldn't be the Kings shark bitten in OT. But honestly, I just had to get that out there. But normally, you're right. I would take the Sharks, but not back-to-back. Not after that type of. I think they're going to be a little gassed, and Kopi Tar, Tony, can have his moment.
Yep.
So I think this is like a 3-1 Kings victory. Kopi Tar, all 3 assists. Kings and the under.
I love the Kings call here. I haven't gotten a lot of overs. I'm going to call this one an over. It's at 6.5, which is a little high. But I just think maybe these tenders are, on the West Coast there. They're just not really getting it done, and the Sharks on the back-to-back and due to give up some more goals. And honestly, so are the Kings, to be honest. But I think Kings pull it out. They win 5-3. So Kings and the over there. Kopi Tar and Velarde, your main goal scorers, Brian.
And just like that, that is your Tuesday night edition of the Frozen Frenzy, Tony.
What a frenzy, dude. Let's go. I mean, hockey's been great. A lot of great games out there. I even caught some of the Devils-Ducks game the other night. I think it was on Sunday or whatever.
So the Ducks back-to-back, New York area over the weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
Did the Devils win that one?
Devils win, yeah.
That was a good start this year, right?
Devils, very solid start. Yeah, I think they're maybe 5-3, maybe.
I think 6-3 now.
6-3 now.
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah, Hughes is looking good. Everyone's healthy there. Goaltender's all right for now. So I mean, you would expect that. That last year was tough for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, I think they made some good moves in the offseason. But that being said, it seems like we're kind of caught up everywhere we look. Josh B, better late than never with the Hattie Boom Batty. Any binge tonight?
Yes, Binge Buddies tonight, 8 p.m. usual time. Manny in studio. We're talking the Penguin as always.
Okay. In all seriousness, because I know Harvey, the city, but isn't it, to me, it appears that everyone loves this series. It seems fun of the rare this day and age. Like actually good. I mean,
it is actually good, especially like mixed reviews from the Batman movie. And this is like the spinoff for the Penguin character.
Is there any Harvey said it?
No Harvey.
Mention
Harvey. Not even a little bit actually. He hasn't been mentioned at all. But who knows? Maybe they'll introduce him. But it is, dude. It's like this show is being compared to Sopranos.
Wow.
Because that's what the Penguin is. He's like a mob boss guy, and they're in Gotham City, which is like basically New York.
Yeah, the underground clubs, the titty bars.
Exactly. Pushing drugs, dude.
The
exactly.
Cocaine.
Exactly, dude. Yeah. Exactly. So. It's a phenomenal show. Colin Farrell does a great job. So we're breaking down this latest episode with Manny. We're watching some new trailers, get some hot button news out there. So if you want to be up on that news, you freaking tune in tonight.
there we go. But once again, another great show, and we really do, appreciate all the interaction and all the comments, likes, and subscriptions. Everybody, check out the archives on the YouTube page, Tony, Michael, Renee, and Jay in costume, the merch at downtowntv.com. Want everybody to enjoy the day, enjoy the games. Let's go, Yankees and Rangers, and we will see you mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.